Hi friends, this is Praveen. I'm a developer. This is my first video on .NET training. We are gonna learn .NET with the language that is C hash, which is most famous nowadays. So in this session, I'm gonna take you on a walkthrough on what is .NET framework first. So this is our IDE which we are going to use, that is Visual Studio 2010. We also have Visual Studio 2012, which is the updated part of it, which was released last year. And .NET. .NET framework is a library, a robust library which consists of inbuilt functions for various activities. All Windows applications need the framework. It's a platform on which the other applications are run. VB was a wonderful language which was developed before VC Sharp could come. I won't be focusing much on theoretical stuffs because at the end of the day that is not gonna help you people. So I'll be concentrating more on practical stuffs, programming, coding standards, etc. So basically VB was first thing which came into existence, and it covered the market very well because it had a GUI, unlike the console applications which we used to develop. With the Windows application, the UI was much better, and later which it was overridden by VC Sharp. VC Sharp is also known as Visual C Sharp and is used in two different forms. That would be your Windows Form applications and your WPF applications. It's used for developing standalone Windows applications. So in this session we are gonna get introduced to the IDE first. Let us first start a new project. Before I could take you to the UI development, let me first make one or two videos on console applications which will give us a better idea of how they used to work with C Sharp before VB could come into existence. So basically now I'm gonna create a console application, new. Just select onto the project, and later which you'll get a wizard kind of thing. Here if you could see, you have VB, you have VC Sharp, VC++, and VF Sharp, out of which this is the language on which we are going to learn .NET, that is Visual C Sharp. Under this we'll get into console applications first. So if you could see here, it is console applications. Here you could select your .NET framework on which you're gonna run. This is nothing but the different versions with a few updates. So I'll go with .NET Framework 4, which is the recent one. 4.5 was the recent one. So anyhow, select the console applications and please give your own name. For example, now I'm gonna write a program which would say hello world. So that would be the basic program which we write for the first time, being a beginner of a development era. So I'll name this as hello world. So I'll just give it OK. If you could see now, you will get a class. By default the Visual Studio will be creating a class for you, within which you could start writing your coding. Yes, if you could see now, I want you to explain the structure of this program first before I could get into main and start coding. Okay, so this would be the structure of the program. That is from here to here, out of which this part, which starts with using system.collection.generic, these are all equal to your ash include stdio.h, etc. So these things say that out of the .NET library which important library am I referencing to, and what are the features I do need in this program. If you want some more features, for example, if I'm communicating to the database, I would come here and I will write using system.data. So using system.data is equal to hash include stdio.h in your C and import in your Java. So using this, we can reference to the libraries, and by just telling using system.data, I create a link to system.data, and this program can use any subfunction or any functionality of the data class. So namespace, coming to namespace is equal to packages in Java. For example, namespace is something like a collection of work. For example, you want to keep a track of what you're coding in a big company, in a big project. You want to keep a track of what coding is done by you. So all that code will be put into a single namespace followed by your name or something which is more relevant. So that depends on you. Namespace is something via which you can keep a track of work done by someone or work done by a team in a very big project. Class, coming to the class, if you people are aware with object-oriented programming stuffs, no problem. If you're not aware with the object-oriented concepts, I will be discussing the object-oriented concepts in my next class. So a class is nothing but a collection of similar items, a collection of people belonging to a similar for example, if fruits are your class, under the class fruits you will find banana, etc., etc. So in the same way, a class is nothing but a collection of similar objects. A collection of objects with similar data type is what we call it as class. And coming to objects, data binding, etc., if you have not written any single program with your C++ or never dealt with object-oriented programming approach, you will be getting a video on which I'll be explaining all the object-oriented programming stuffs. That would be my video 2. Please watch on for my next video. So yeah, so that will be a class. A class is a collection of similar objects. You could note down the definition. I don't think so that's required if you're not a student. So this is a function which will be triggered first. Being a programmer, you have to know that when your program starts its execution, the first function which will be executed will be the main function. Main function will be the first function to run. So you have to be aware of that the main function is the first function to run, and the string.args is a default argument supplied to our main function. Whatever you write, whatever code you want to be triggered when your program starts running, unlike your event-driven programming, Windows applications are event-driven programming. What is an event? When you click on a button, the code with respect to the click of the button is triggered. I hope you understand. That is what we call it as event-driven programming. This is not a event-driven programming. When you're writing your console applications, there are no events. It is just top-down approach. Whatever you write from top to bottom will be executed one by one. So you have to be careful when you code. When you code a calculator, you have to be careful that what should come first and what should come next. So the sequence is very important, and based on your priority you will be designing the sequence. So here is where I'll be writing my code. For coding, I'll be means like, for example, in C, to display something on the console you will be using printf statement. That would be printf. But in C#, that too in console applications, you will be writing console. This is called as IntelliSense. This is called as IntelliSense, which will help and save half of the time of a developer. That is very good in our .NET. Your Visual Studio is very rich in IntelliSense. Please do make use of your IntelliSense. For example, if you see, I'll click on console, I'll give a dot, and whatever comes here is a child or a function within a console class. All these are the functions within a console class. So you could see how well your IntelliSense works out and makes you feel it's the best. So coming to printing whatever you want to print on the console, you will write console.writeLine. Console.writeLine, and this function accepts a parameter that would be your whatever you want to display. Hello world, welcome to Praveen's .NET training. So this is a simple statement, and please do remember it's called as console.writeLine, and it is only for console programming, and for Windows and for WPF it's gonna differ, it's not gonna be the same. So here we write console.writeLine, within which you put in your message what you want to display, and that displays exactly. But let me run this for you. If you do, for running, you can use this button which is there at the top of your IDE. You could make use of this, or else you could make use of your key, that is F5. Click on F5, your program runs. But if you could see now, it runs, it comes up and disappears, because in your console application, please don't forget to add at the last console.readLine. I'll tell you why am I doing this. When you write console.readLine, previously when I executed the program, you saw that the console popped up and it disappeared immediately. The reason was the compiler displayed you whatever you have written and it disappeared. If you want the compiler to wait for you for something, if you want the compiler to wait for you to see the output, you have to write console.readLine, which says the compiler, please do wait for me to see what is the outcome or what is the output. If your compiler encounters console.readLine as the last line of your program, it will wait for you to click on any button in your keyboard. For example, I'm running the program now, it's F5. Now if you see, the console will wait for me to see hello world, and once I give enter, it disappears. So this is the basic thing which you have to keep in mind. So I hope this first video, which was just an introductory towards the .NET, towards your C# language, would have been helpful. In my next video, I'll be discussing the main stuffs. I'm gonna start the training from the next video. This was just a demo one. From the next video, I'll be covering all object-oriented stuffs like data binding, encapsulation, polymorphism, etc., which will help you to understand this better. And we'll be writing few advanced programs in console applications. I would be designing a simple calculator using a console application. I'll be designing a menu which gives the options. So all this will be a part of the next video. Please do wait and watch for my next video. Thank you for watching.